All right, guys, welcome to our Emerald Rising call this evening. I'm so excited to share with you guys. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Melissa Galame. I have been a coach for 4.5 years, and I'm honored tonight to share with you guys on a topic that is extremely important to me. It has really helped me build my business over the past 4.5 years. We've had so many phenomenal speakers that have shared with us exactly what to do to advance to Emerald. I know Jeanette changed her topic a little bit like I am. So if you've not taken the time to go back, please watch those and implement what each leader is sharing with you, because guys, this is the stuff that will help you build your business long term. So tonight I'm going to be doing a screen share with you, and I'm going to be talking to you all about sharing your story to build your business. So give me 1 second so I can screen share. Okay. Can somebody just put in the chat, make sure you guys can see my screen? Let's see. Of course I can't see. Okay, perfect. You guys can see it. Okay, so let me just move this out of the way. All right, guys, so like I said, I'm gonna be talking to you all about sharing your story. This is a huge important of building your business. So the first part in sharing your story is in embracing your mess and really not being ashamed or afraid to share the messy parts of your life. Everybody has them, and I'm a firm believer that the more that you share, the more that people are going to feel relatable to you, they're going to feel connected to you, and they are going to want to follow your journey. So don't be afraid to share the messy parts of your life. Okay, we have some unmuted lines, so if everyone could take a moment and mute yourself, that would be awesome. And I'm gonna go see and figure out who it is. Melissa, can you mute yourself, babe? Or, okay, cool. Sounds like everyone's muted. Thank you. Okay, so why is it important for you to share your story? Well, number one, you're gonna be becoming more relatable to the people that you're building relationships with. When people feel like they can relate to you, they're going to feel connected to you, right? The more you relate to people, the more you build relationships. Relationships are a critical part of this business, right? Without relationships, you don't have a business. It's so important that people feel connected to you, and you create those connections. Connection is the key to relationships. Relationships build your following, and more followers equal more clients. So when you are sharing your story, guys, you can talk about, like I said, the messy parts of your life, the uncomfortable things that you've had to go through. People don't want to jump on and only follow you because you drink a shake, you work out and get amazing results. They want to know what else is going on in your life. That way they can relate to you. I can tell you, over the past 4.5 years, my story I've shared over and over and over again in different ways. And the more that I share it, more comes out. So I want you to be thinking about, okay, so what are the parts of my story that I haven't shared yet? What went on in your childhood? What helped you who you were? Did you go to college? What were some of the things that you experienced there? Did you not go to college? What was lacking in your life? I'm gonna go through exactly how to share your story, but I want you to really be thinking about what are the things in your life that could relate to others. I'm a hot mess mom, so that's a huge part of the stories that I share. I've also struggled with addiction and alcoholism, and so I share openly about that. And I didn't put this in the slide, but guys, you really have to be working on yourself with personal development, because if you're not, it's going to be very hard for you to share those things, because you're not going to heal from the things you've been through. You're not going to feel empowered to really share openly. So I cannot stress that enough. So what makes you you? I want you to make a list of the things that describe you. I want you to make a list of your likes and your dislikes. What are the events that have happened in your life? What are the hobbies that you have? What season of life are you in right now, and what seasons have you been through? Because we all have things that we have faced, and we all have things that we enjoy that somebody else out there on our social network that's following us is going to say, oh my gosh, I'm just going to say Katrina because she's right in front of me. Katrina likes soccer. Me too. I used to play soccer when I was in high school. I've been really looking for a league to get in. I wonder if she has any open spots on our team. Or Melissa, you know, shares openly about her sobriety. I'm thinking about getting sober myself. Or I have a family member who has went through, you know, recovery or sobriety, whatever that is. Or maybe you're a new mom, right? And you are talking about your journey on how you're going to get back into your pre-pregnancy body. Or maybe you went through postpartum depression. Or maybe you're really good at organizing. Like if you're not sharing the things that make you you, and you're trying to be like someone else or like the other 400,000 coaches that we have in the network, guys, people aren't going to follow you, okay? So just make that list. If you don't already know the things that you want to talk about, make a list of 5 to 10 things. And those are the things that you want to be sharing over and over and over. And you're not going to do it all at once. You're going to start breadcrumbing that. And you don't have to share all the dirty things, you know, your dirty laundry and the horrible things that have happened in your life. But the more that you can share the things that people can relate to, that describe you, they're going to feel more connected, like I said in the last slide. So next is how to share. So you're going to share your background. What was life like before you found this opportunity or you found this solution? What were the things that were keeping you up at night? What did you hate about that season of life that you were going through? What emotions did you experience? The more that you can talk about that emotional experience, you're going to create, again, guys, like I said, that connection. What solution did you find? And how does that make you feel about the future? So if I talk about my coaching journey, I would say before I found Beachbody, I was working 45 plus hours a week for someone else. I was sending my kids to daycare, basically paying someone to raise my children. I felt like I was the rush around mom. Like I never had any time with my family. I gave all my energy to work. And by the time I got home, I was exhausted. By the time that I paid all of my daycare and bills at the end of my 2-week pay period, I felt like I didn't have anything else left to like spend money on, like get myself a manicure or go on a date night or be able to buy my kids those school shoes that they needed, whatever it was. I hated that, guys. I hated that. And so I share that openly. And I talk about being that rush around mom and how I hated dropping my kids off to daycare when they were sick and praying that I would get a call from my daycare provider so that way they could tell me if I needed to pick up my kid. And then I wasn't calling into work and inconveniencing my employer. Talk about those things. The emotions that I experienced, I felt exhausted. I felt run down. I felt tired. I felt defeated. I felt desperate. The solution that I found was a community of people who felt like I did, but they had a way out. And they were teaching me by putting me in these coaching pages where it was a community, like a sisterhood, something that I didn't have in my life. I had close friends, but not people who were pushing me outside my comfort zone and to go for goals that were going to take me out of that 9-to-5 job that was draining me out of my life. And how does it make me feel about the future? I am excited. I am excited that not only has this opportunity brought me home to my children and I don't have to send my kids to daycare anymore, but now I'm a present mom. I don't ever have to ask anyone else permission to take my kids to the doctor or the dentist or be at their sporting events. Today, I actually spent all day cooking for our football fundraiser. That's something that I shared in my Insta stories. Like I would not be able to do that if I still worked for someone else. And this is the stuff that I now get to do because I have flexibility and freedom in my schedule. So storytelling best practices. Don't share everything at once. You're going to leave breadcrumbs and leave people wanting more. If you give them everything at once, obviously they're not going to have much to follow and it's going to be really hard for you to continue going and sharing your story. Plus, if you aren't using Insta stories, you're doing yourself a disservice. You can totally leave people wanting more and do curiosity marketing and breadcrumbing through your stories. Facebook now has that. But just share little chunks of your life on your page as well. Tell your story over and over. Repetition builds skills. So the more that you tell your story, the more that people are going to follow along. And the other thing is, guys, you don't know who hasn't heard your story before. I had a girl last night that has never purchased anything from me. She posted this probably 4-paragraph post about how she's been following me for 3 to 4 years, and we do have a friendship that we've built, but that I've given her hope, right? She said that for the first 2 years, she would scroll past my post, and now she goes out and seeks them because she wants to know what I'm doing. She wants to know what I'm reading. She wants to do all the things that I'm going to do. Guess what? I'm molding her into a great coach in the future. When I first got started on my journey, I actually watched my coach Mindy, Becky, and Christina for 13 months before I did anything. So I followed their stories. I felt very connected to their families. I felt like I knew what they were doing in their business. I was watching their children grow up through social media, and now they've become good friends, but I feel like I knew them before I even knew them. So the more that you tell your story, the more people are going to feel connected, the more they're going to keep coming back, and the more you're going to get better at sharing your story. I wish that I could go and show you what my story looked like in the beginning, but my account was hacked a few months ago and I lost everything. But in the beginning, I was not a very good storyteller. The way that I feel I share my story now is much different than it was in 2014 and early 2015. The next thing is staying consistent. Consistency builds a loyal following. So I just told you that my account was hacked and I lost all my content in my challenge groups, all my team page stuff, all my friends, all my followers, all my pictures, all of that. But you know what, guys? Within one day, I started rebuilding and people started finding me. And I think that's because I have a very consistent following because I've never fell off track. If you are someone who's constantly falling off and you're not really sure what your message is or who you're speaking to, you're really going to struggle in this business because people aren't going to, number one, they're not going to want to follow you because you're never consistent, and they want to follow someone who's going to stick with things. They want help, so they want to follow the coach that's going to show up no matter what life throws at them. When life throws stuff at you guys, go and share that. And like I said earlier, you don't have to go and share all the ugly, nasty pieces of what's going on in your life, but let people in. Because when you completely fall off track, you lose people. And guess what? They're going to start following somebody else who is consistent, who shares their story, and who leaves them wanting more. So please remember to stay consistent and that you're always building your following. Let's see if I can go down. Okay, so your story matters. I don't want you to be ashamed of where you came from or where your journey started or where you're at right now, because your story matters and you have no idea who needs to hear your story. There are things that I share on social media that I would have never dreamed about sharing, but I do it because I know that there's somebody out there who needs to hear my message. And even if it's just one person, guess what? That's who I want to talk to. That's who I want to impact. So talk about your hardships. Talk about your weight issues. Maybe you're super thin and you've always been super thin and you've always had self-body image issues. Guess what? You're not alone in that insecurity. One of the things that Tony Robbins says is that if you're to ask a room full of people if they have addiction issues or marriage issues or financial issues, guess what? Most of the room is going to raise their hand because our problems are not our own. We're not unique in those. So the more that you go out and you share that, I guarantee you're going to touch someone's life and you're going to be a light in theirs and you're going to hopefully provide hope. When you're posting, you want to make sure when you're sharing the dirty laundry that the solution and how you're digging yourself out of it or how you saw light at the end of the tunnel, because that's what's going to help somebody else. Don't just go post stuff and hope that it sticks to a wall and not share some sort of solution because you don't want to come off as like a Debbie Downer. Okay. So I love this quote, and I wanted to share it with you guys. The worst story that you will ever tell is the one that you never tell. Don't keep other people's destinies trapped in your mouth because you're uncomfortable with speaking your truth. If I would have done that, I can tell you my life would look so much different. So go out and share your story boldly, feel confident, speak with conviction, practice it in the mirror, share it on your Insta stories, go to all your social, and you can copy and paste it and share it. Share it in your team page, share it in your challenge groups, because the more that you go out and share it, it's going to help you get better at it. It's going to help you heal from it, from whatever the issue was. Maybe you feel like, I don't really have a story, because I hear that all the time. That's BS, guys, and I want you to go back to where I said, make that list of 10 and figure out who you are and what you want to go out and talk about, okay? So storytelling rock stars, what I did was I went through and I thought about some people who are just do a phenomenal job at not only telling their story, but telling it often, that have created a great following, that use their story to like capture people in, and they breadcrumb and they leave people wanting more. So you guys can go stalk these people. You might have some amazing storytellers in your thoughts that you want to highlight. But so the first one is Amanda Ford. This picture, number one, okay, so she has a very clear image, which is super important, and she starts telling a story of that she almost didn't go on a trip, right? She was going to choose her work over her family, okay? How many people, maybe you still work full-time, maybe you're going to watch this later and you can relate to where Amanda's at right now, or where you can relate. Your life used to be there. That's what my life used to be like, right? I gave everything to my job and I had very little for my family. And if work called, guess where I was? I went to work. If I was on my day off and we were out doing something and the phone rang and it was work, guess who was on it? If it was my day off and there was a conference call that I needed to be on, guess who was on it? So I just love that she, number one, has a captivating image, and number two, that she starts sharing her story, okay? This makes me want to go on and continue to read more. So next one, obviously, Christina Votto is a storyteller master. I feel like she has really helped me evolve into the leader that I am today, as well as being able to communicate in a way that people want to watch. And so here, again, Christina has a great picture. And here she is, she's talking about how her life has transitioned, right? She talks about her family in it. So she's speaking to other moms. She's speaking to the people out there working. She's talking about building a business through social media. So many people, if you go and scroll your Facebook or your Instagram right now, everybody's out there selling something, because we're all looking for a solution to have more time, to have more income, to make a difference, to feel connected. Okay, so Christina is an amazing storyteller. The next one is Maddie, and I love this. She is an upcoming rock star, and guys, she's talking about how this business is helping her financially, and that she had this iPad on her vision board for 2 months, and that she used her paycheck to pay for it, right? So that, to somebody who's like, I need extra money, I'm in college, I need an iPad, they're probably gonna be like, what's this Maddie girl doing and how is she doing it? I'm gonna go follow her, right? Also, income disclaimer, always put that in there, whether you're going on a trip or you've earned something or income, you wanna put it in there, keep compliance happy. You don't want emails from Jemima, have them. Okay, Christy Kronzer, another one of my favorite mentors in the business. Right here, guys, she shows a before and after picture. And she's talking about money again. She's talking about how she's been a coach, I think, for 7 years, and she's earned $2.5 million in this business, and she's being fearless about it. That's a very bold way to start a post, okay? So going and looking, and she tells where she started, right? What was her life like before? Her first month of coaching, she earned $70. Her first year, 6,000. Her second year, 37,000. She kept growing. She tells that story, okay? Again, make sure you put the income post if you're talking about income or earning stuff. Okay, the next one, Arlene Pino, another amazing storyteller. She has a great graphic, okay? People follow Arlene because she's full of life and she's bubbly. Guess what? Her niche market is also talking to other moms and teachers. So she's still telling stories about being a teacher and how she can still do it in her everyday life and share that with her new coaches and her clients, okay? So go and see how these people are communicating their stories if you're struggling on communicating your own. And then here's mine. So I talk a lot about truth. I talk a lot about my past and how I have gone from not being confident and filled with anxiety and living in fear, basically a lot of things I experienced in my childhood and my youth. But I share my story so openly because I know that there's other people out there who are silently suffering, who don't know that there's another way and that they don't have to feel stuck in their circumstances. And so I want you guys to go out and I want you to share this business and how it's impacting your life. I want you to be relentless in doing it. And I want you to heal along the way, right? I want you to take all the uncomfortable things and I want you to start feeling comfortable with them. Because if you don't do that, somebody else is going to go out and tell their story and get someone else's attention. And that's the real deal, guys. Your story being able to share your story will change your business. I went back and I looked. I think I hit Emerald in the first 2 weeks of my business. Katrina Scott, she's on the call. She was my first coach. All I did was go out there and talk about how this product that I had found, the solution, was helping me in my life. I don't go out there and put, well, in the beginning I did. I put like super spammy little graphics talking about 21-day fix or the containers and stuff like that. But the more that you do it, you'll understand how to share you and less about a stock product. We have amazing products. Talk about how they're transforming your life. That's what's going to sell people. That's what's going to attract them to come into your team. Because I can tell you right now, when you become a good storyteller, it doesn't matter what company you represent or what product you have, your people are going to follow you regardless because they trust you. They feel connected to you. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope that it gives you ideas on how to go out and share your story. What I would like after this is I would like for you to go out. Maybe you have never went out and shared your story. Now's the time to rip that Band-Aid off and go talk about why you joined this company, why you're with Beachbody, what it's like to be on Diesel Nation. We have an amazing team, you guys. We may not be the biggest, but we are the best. And it's up to us to go out and share that story. Think about the legacy that you're going to start building for the team that you want to grow. Go out and talk to your best friend. Go talk to your mom, your dad, your sister, your husband, whoever it is, and say, listen, I want to build this business, but I can't do it alone. I need you. And go sign your first 2 coaches and get to Emerald. I want to see lots of rank advancements. When we first started these calls, you guys, we were like popping Emeralds left and right. Maybe you're already Emerald and you're like, oh, that's old news. Go Emerald again and go Emerald again. Go Emerald again. You should have a goal every single week to share your story, to build your team. You should have a goal every single week to go Emerald. If you don't know how to do that, go back and watch all these videos that have been provided for you. Okay, so if you have any questions, we do have a couple minutes and I'd like to open it up. If not, I will give you back the rest of your evening. And if you guys want to see the slide deck so that you have that, I can share it. That way you know how to share your story. And if you're wondering where I came up with that form of what did your life look like before? What was the emotion? What did you hate about it? What does life look like? Eric Worre is an amazing network marketing leader. And I went to his GoPro event in San Francisco in 2015. I highly recommend guys going to live events because that's where you build those skills. And if I didn't listen to people like Tony Robbins or Eric Worre or Gary Vee or Oprah or Rachel Hollis, who make me feel brave and make me feel like I can do anything and I shouldn't be ashamed of where I came from and that my message matters and that I can go out and serve the world by sharing it, I wouldn't be here today. So please don't keep other people's destinies trapped in your mouth. Go out and share your story over and over and over again, because that's what's going to help you build your business. I love you guys. I hope you have an incredible evening. And like I said, let's pop some emeralds this week.
Love you.
Love you.